Most men today are fragile. One rejection and they spiral. One setback and they quit. At that moment, two paths appear. One leads to growth. The other leads to collapse. They've trained themselves to seek comfort, not strength. They live in a bubble of instant gratification. Fast food, fast entertainment, fast dopamine. They treat stress as a disease instead of a teacher. Think of pressure like lifting weights. If you never step inside the gym, the barbell will crush you. Weak men collapse because they never lifted the smaller ones first. Look around today. The average man faces a tough moment, and what does he do? Stress? He escapes into video games. Failure? He blames the world instead of himself. But here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't care. Life doesn't stop throwing weight at you just because you're weak. Pressure is inevitable. The only choice you have is whether you'll endure it or be crushed by it. Because they knew war wouldn't wait for them to be ready. If they could endure the pain of training, the battlefield would feel lighter. Modern men do the opposite. Here's the paradox. Avoiding pressure makes you weaker. Every time you escape, you lose resilience. Every time you quit, you reinforce fragility, until one day life hits you and you shatter completely. But strong men? They don't fear pressure. They respect it. They train for it. They understand that pressure doesn't destroy you, it reveals you. So the real question is, how do you stop being fragile? How do you turn yourself into someone who doesn't just survive pressure, but thrives under it? That's where the timeless wisdom of Stoicism comes in. The Stoics lived in a world far harsher than ours. But the Stoics understood that reality doesn't bend to your wishes. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, faced betrayal, war, and the death of children. Yet he wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He spirals into despair. A Stoic sees it as training, a chance to adapt, grow, and sharpen his resilience. Here's the paradox. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You suffer when you resist reality. You grow when you accept it. Epictetus, once a slave, said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wasn't just philosophy, it was survival. A man who had nothing, no freedom, no power, turned his chains into wisdom. He refused to let life break him. So how do we apply Stoicism today? By practicing what the Stoics called voluntary discomfort. They deliberately exposed themselves to small hardships so that real ones wouldn't destroy them. One Wi-Fi outage and they lose their minds. One rejection and they call themselves worthless. One failure and they stop trying. But here's the truth. Life doesn't get easier. you get stronger. And the only way to get stronger is to face resistance instead of running from it. That's the essence of Stoic strength, to build an inner fortress that nothing can penetrate. To see pain as a teacher, not an enemy. To take every challenge as a chance to practice resilience. The answer lies in the morning discipline of Marcus Aurelius. Imagine waking up as the most powerful man in the world. You're the emperor of Rome. Armies await your command. Advisors bring you endless problems. Every word you speak could change the fate of millions. That was Marcus Aurelius's reality. And yet, even with all this power, Marcus started each morning not with luxury, but with discipline. His journal, later known as Meditations, was his weapon against weakness. Why am I complaining that I am going to do what I was made for? Think about that. Even the Emperor of Rome didn't want to get out of bed some mornings. Even he felt the pull of comfort. But instead of giving in, he used his mornings to sharpen his willpower. Here's the secret. Marcus didn't wait for motivation. He trained himself to act regardless of how he felt. That's what weak men don't understand. They wait until they feel ready. But the truth is, if you wait to feel ready, you'll never start. Marcus began his mornings by reminding himself of three things. People will test you. He expected insult, betrayal, and stupidity. That way, he wasn't shocked when it happened. Duty is everything. He was born to serve, to endure, to act, not to complain. This morning discipline is what kept him unshakable. While other emperors drowned in pleasure, ego, and corruption, Marcus built resilience. He reminded himself daily that he was not above hardship, but forged by it. Now imagine applying this in your own life. Marcus Aurelius hit reality. Modern men avoid discomfort. Marcus trained for it every sunrise, and here's the truth. Discipline in the morning becomes armor for the day. If you can win the first battle, getting up, preparing your mind, you'll have the strength to win the bigger battles that follow. But discipline is more than thought. Weak men live the first, strong men the second. The bridge between them is built on habits. Here's the truth. Motivation fades, but habits stay. If you rely on motivation, you'll always crumble when pressure comes. But if you build unbreakable habits, they'll carry you through even when your willpower runs dry. Within a week, they burn out. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Progress through small, consistent actions. Marcus Aurelius didn't write a 300-page philosophy book in one day. He wrote small notes daily, until his journal became timeless wisdom. Build habits the same way. Start small, but never stop. Roman soldiers trained with weights heavier than they needed. Why? Because discomfort sharpens resilience. Make discomfort a daily ritual. Cold showers, fasting, hard training, doing the task you dread first. Every time you step into discomfort, you train your mind not to flinch under pressure. Tie them to identity. Don't say, I'm trying to be disciplined. Say, I am a disciplined man. Step 4. Goals are fragile. Systems are unbreakable. A goal says, I'll lose 20 pounds. A system says, I train 4 days a week no matter what. Which one survives under pressure? The system. James Clear said it best in Atomic Habits. The Stoics lived this truth long before it was written. Step 5. Stack. Wins. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you stack a brick. Over time, those bricks become walls. A fortress. Every kept habit is proof. You are stronger than your excuses. That fortress is what protects you when pressure strikes. Because when life hits, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your training. Weak men collapse because they never trained. Here's how you walk the path. Step 1. Redefine pressure. Weak men see pressure as a threat. Strong men see it as a forge. When life tests you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this training me for? Every failure becomes feedback. Every rejection becomes armor. Every hardship becomes fuel. Pressure isn't the enemy. It's the gym of the soul. The more you train from outcomes. The Stoics taught us, you can control effort, never result. The weak man ties his identity to success and collapses when he fails. The strong man ties his identity to effort and no one can take that from him. Did you try and fail? You've still won because you grew. Did someone betray you? You've still won because you learned who they really are. Did you fall? You've still won because you stood back up. When you detach from outcomes, you become untouchable. Nothing outside of you can define you. Step 3. Master yourself. Control over others is fragile. Control over yourself is eternal. Weak men chase power, money, and status to fill the emptiness inside. Strong men realize if you can't control your mind, you own nothing. Master your desires. A man who controls himself cannot be controlled by anyone else. Step 4. Live by principles, not feelings. Feelings are unreliable. Some days you'll feel lazy. Some days you'll feel afraid. Some days you'll feel worthless. Weak men obey those feelings. Untouchable men obey principles. Principles don't change. Discipline, duty, honor, growth. You live by these no matter how you feel. That's how you become solid, like a rock in the storm. Step 5. Serve something greater. The Stoics weren't just focused on themselves. They believed in serving others and contributing to the world, because when you live only for yourself, your strength has limits. But when you live for something greater, your family, your mission, your legacy, you become unstoppable. In the mornings you rise when no one watches. In the habits you repeat daily. In the moments you endure hardship without complaint. And one day, you'll look back and realize, the things that used to break you no longer even shake you. That is what it means to be unbreakable. That is what it means to be untouchable.